So today we're going to be talking about Saniderm again. I know that you guys have probably seen part 1 of my Saniderm videos as well as part 2. If you want to see those videos, you can go to the cue cards above. The first video is just me showing you, I guess, how to use Saniderm like for first timers, and then I do a second video where it's a 5-day process of the first day I put it on to the last day in the removal. So you guys still had a lot of questions. I actually get comments on these videos pretty much every day of you guys asking me if you're using the product correctly and your tattoo's healing a certain way. And I just want to put a little disclaimer out there before this video gets started. I am not a licensed like physician. I'm not a tattoo artist. I am not you know, a paid rep or anything for Saniderm. I am just a person who really likes using this. There are different methods that you can use besides Saniderm. This is just one that I really enjoy, so I wanted to talk about it because a lot of people ask this question pretty frequently. So just gonna put that little disclaimer out there, and then with that being said, we can get into this video. So I'm gonna be going through the comment sections, through my DMs, and pretty much anywhere else where you guys have been asking me about this product, and I'm going to answer your questions. I will also put a pinned thing in the comment section with like timestamps, so if you're looking for a specific question, you can refer to that and I will bring you to the point of the video that's more important to you. Okay, so this one says, I'm not going to include names just because I don't know if anybody wants their names included. So this one says, my tattoo artist says that I have to use the same Saniderm for 4 days and I'm not going to use another, that's all. Is it normal? Help me. So whatever your artist recommends, I would definitely suggest listening to them because they know your tattoo and they know the product as well. This is just my take on the product, so let me kind of guide you through this. Through Saniderm's website, and you can also see their YouTube videos. I've linked it down in the description as well if you want to check out their videos. Let's just say this is the first day of you getting tattooed. You just get a fresh tattoo, you're headed home, maybe your artist put it on at the studio, maybe you're gonna put it on when you get home for the first time by yourself. There's a lot of different subjects here. So generally what they say is that you are supposed to leave that bandage on for like the first 12 to 24 hours, I believe. So once you get that tattoo, you put it on, you leave it overnight, and that's going to start to fill up with fluid. You would remove that bandage and then put on a new one that you leave for the 4 to 6 days that you wear. So that's a recommended way to do it. There's nothing wrong with that method. There's nothing wrong with your artist putting it on you the day of. I personally don't like to do it this way because it is a pain in the ass to get off. You can see that in my removal video that you have to do soap and water. You have to be really careful with it. I'm just not a big fan of it, especially when my tattoo is super fresh and swollen on that first day. I don't want to mess with it. So what I do is I just clean my tattoo, I let it breathe, I put Aquaphor on it. You can use A&D, anything that's like of the sort that is approved for your tattoo. And I just let it breathe until I go to bed. If I have it in a spot where it's going to be rubbing too much on my sheets, I hate the feeling of getting stuck to my sheets and waking up with like dry blood. I hate it. So if it's a situation of like a weird spot like that, I will wrap it with a clear wrap, and then in the morning I take it off and that's it. You could do that. You can use the Saniderm. There's no wrong or right way to do it. However, your artist is right that you will keep the bandage on for multiple days. That being because that's the whole reason for Saniderm. The whole reason for it is that you get to use this bandage and you don't have to do anything else to heal your tattoo, which is fantastic. So if you get that tattoo done on day 1, you get the first Saniderm wrap and you have to take it off to put the new one on for those 4 days, correct. It's based on how much fluid you see, and that's just what's suggested. I like to do it on the day 2, like I mentioned, because I know the tattoo will fill up with fluid and it's uncomfortable to take off. And then I leave it on for about 5 days. That's my preference. It depends on how big the tattoo is. It depends on if it's colorblind gray. Whatever your artist thinks is right, cool. Probably works. I know that was probably repetitive. I just want to say that there's nothing wrong with leaving it for the multiple days. In fact, if your tattoo fills up with fluid in it, there's nothing wrong with that as well. If you start to see it leaking out, then that's when I would remove the bandage. Taking off too early can make it not feel the greatest, especially if your tattoo's in the middle of peeling and you accidentally peel something off. Obviously, it's going to get that weird shiny zone. Or if you have a scab, I'm not going to say it's going to ruin your tattoo, you never know, but I just would prefer to leave it on the days as I mentioned. Okay, next person said, so after the 3 to 5 days for the second application, do you still need to clean it daily with antibacterial soap? Keep it moisturized. I'm getting my first tattoo in 2 weeks and I'm not sure about the procedure. So yes, this is going to be a little bit before and after. When you are putting on your Saniderm for the first time, you want to make sure your tattoo is totally clean and dry. That means only antibacterial soap and water. That's it, and dry. I say this because I've seen a few people get their tattoos done. They still have green soap on it. They put the Saniderm wrap on and they have a really bad reaction underneath the skin. You really want to make sure that your stuff is dry, obviously, and you want to make sure that there is nothing except just clean skin. That's it. I'm not trying to like scare anybody, but I just want that to be kind of said. Also, it's important to do allergy testing yourself. If you think that you have sensitive skin and this might be a problem for you, take a small patch and put it somewhere else on your body before you do your entire tattoo, because I've seen some people have reactions for that as well. I can't really say that I've had that. I did get a little bit of a scar the last time I used it, but I think that was just because I was so swollen and my skin was kind of pinched in the Saniderm, and that caused a little bit of a scar. But again, that's my fault. It's not necessarily because I got a reaction to the Saniderm. So to answer your question though, yes, you absolutely want to keep using that antibacterial soap. You want to use the lotion, and that's just because you want to keep your tattoo clean. I think it takes anywhere from like 20-ish days to 30 days, like a full month for a tattoo to heal. At least my skin, it takes a full month to go to a normal texture, because when you're in that healing process, sometimes your stuff will be raised or it will feel like a different texture before it feels like just normal skin. If you have tattoos, you probably know what I mean. So I would recommend using the unscented soap all the way through the month. It just makes more sense. It's going to keep your tattoo super clean and fresh, and you're not going to risk irritating it and making it more of an issue. I'm using Saniderm right now, and there's a little bit of fluid left in it but not leaking. I got it done on Saturday. Should I change or leave it? At the point of commenting, that was Monday. Fluid is normal. Again, if you got your tattoo done on Saturday and you put it on Saturday and it's leaking a bit, you can remove it for that 24-hour process and then leave it on for the rest of the time. But again, that's up to your discretion, especially if you see the fluid leaking out. That's something you definitely don't want to deal with. So I always recommend putting about 1/2 inch around your actual tattoo. So like if it was here, like let's say this milkshake was the tattoo you're using the wrap on, I would probably put it about here, just so any fluid doesn't automatically fall through. There's a little bit more space. It's not directly to the line of your outline, if that makes sense. This is another comment that says, I have the rash right now. Figured out it is the Saniderm pulling your skin back when you move your arm. I trimmed some back and the rash part is looking much better, which is kind of exactly what I had going on, where like I said, the skin was pulled way too tight with the wrap. So somebody else had this similar experience, and that would just be something to watch out for in a spot where it's a little bit more sensitive when it comes to like mobility and skin, I guess. There's a lot of comments saying that they use Saniderm and it's very low maintenance, and I want to say that it is very low maintenance. I also talk about this in my other videos, but some of the perks of using it is that it definitely reduces itching a bit. I'm a person who gets very itchy during the peeling stage of my tattoo, so having something on top of my tattoo where I can't actually get to my skin is nice. I can kind of just do like a little rub and it feels a lot better. It also helps with somebody like me who picks at their tattoos, which you should obviously not do, especially if you're a person who's getting color tattoos. You can't really get through the wrap, obviously, so it protects that. It's good for people like me who have animals. So if you have animals, obviously laying next to your animal with your fresh open wound is like not the way to go. And my dogs often sleep with us, so I don't want to tell them to go away because they're such good babies, but you obviously want to keep your stuff clean. So having the Saniderm wrap makes it so that they are not able to put their little doggy hairs and germs into your tattoo. Also, my dog is a jumper. He loves to jump, and I feel like my one dog, Gypsy, knows when I get tattoos, so she wants to like stick her face in it and like lick my tattoo, which is just not gonna happen. Young man loves to jump, and when I got my knee tattoo done and my knee was so swollen, he jumped on my leg. Thank God I had Saniderm on, because his nail kind of made a scratching motion, and I was like, that's it, he just cut into my tattoo. When I looked, the wrap was actually totally fine, so I thought that was like a lifesaver. Love that. Another great benefit is like if this is a hard to reach place like your back and you can't reach it and you need to keep it clean, obviously that's something you want to be careful about in the shower, especially if you have colored hair or if you're using scented shampoos and stuff. So it's really great for a lot of uses. The shower, as I mentioned, is one of the things that's, you know, important because obviously you want to clean your tattoo but not have it submerged. So when you have the wrap on, you can shower no problem. You don't have to worry about anything getting into it. You can obviously go into the water with it, but not for like super long periods of time. Again, they talk about that on their YouTube channel as well. Another question that I got, and it says, I just want to ask if we have the same thing happen. When I took off my Saniderm, I noticed some other parts of my tattoo, all black, are kind of blurry and some are silky looking like fresh. Did I ruin some of the ink for my tattoo? Now, I love helping you guys, but questions like this I can't really answer because I can't physically see your tattoo, and also because I'm not like a licensed person to tell you that, but I can give you a kind of a simple understanding of that. When you get tattooed, right, if you're getting something, let's just look at my arm. So when I got this tattooed, obviously when it comes to the peeling stages, you'll start to know like your skin's kind of flaking, your tattoo's peeling. This is a very normal thing when it comes to getting tattooed. Now, that part that's peeling, you don't want to pull back, because if you do, you'll see some skin that's got like a shiny texture to it. That's just something that's still healing. You don't want to mess with it. But you'll notice as your tattoo is peeling that your skin is going back to kind of the normal texture, where it's going to look like this, or it might have some shiny parts to it. That's just something that's healing. Sometimes it's from scabbing, sometimes it's because something got peeled off too early. That's really, really normal for tattoos. If in any way, shape, or form you're concerned about that, if there's redness, if there's things that you're not sure about, go to your local parlor and talk to your artist. If your artist is not familiar with the products, I would hope that you would talk to them about it before so they are informed, because if you're paranoid about this, there's nothing really to do except Google or try to contact the company. So you can contact Saniderm, of course, or you could watch their videos, but hopefully your artist is well versed enough to understand like what this product is. I am not a person that could do that for you, and I'm so sorry, but from what I understand, if your skin is looking a little bit more shiny after you took off the wrap, what I would think is that parts of your tattoo are healed and the other parts aren't. So like when I took off this tattoo, you can actually see in my second video, as I mentioned, there's gonna be a little like circle-y thing up here. You can click that. At the end of the video, I do like a final reveal and I show you this, where some of it is like perfect texture and then the outer layer of it still is peeling. You could kind of see that shininess and the bits of flaky parts of the tattoo, so you know that it's not fully healed, and that's why it has that shiny texture. So that's pretty normal. I always forget that a lot of you guys haven't gotten tattooed or are getting your first tattoo, so thank you for checking out my channel, and I hope that these videos are helpful for you. Please subscribe. I try to upload content every week, and the more active that you guys are on here, the easier it is for me to make videos like this. Somebody said, how many times can I replace the Saniderm bandage? Now, you never want to take off your wrap and try to put it back on. It's only going to adhere once, and also that would be disgusting and gross. So what I would suggest is a maximum of 2 times, which I suggested in the beginning of the video, which would be day 1, removal, and then you leave it on for the 5 days. Or I would just say that 1 time works really, really well, and you could do that as well. So yeah, I think that is everything possible for when it comes to Saniderm. Like if there's something I haven't answered for you guys before, check out those other 2 videos. Like I said, the first one is just a basic like talking about the product. It's me putting it on, and then the second video that I uploaded is me putting it on day 1 all the way up to the removal and the afterthoughts and process. So I think those are really informative videos. If you have any other questions that aren't answered in them, you could definitely leave them down in the comment section below. I'm on there all the time. I try to answer everybody as quickly as I can, but I do recommend that if it's something that you're unsure about as far as your safety and your health goes, please go talk to a tattoo artist or somebody who is going to be able to answer you quickly and know exactly what to do for that situation. Thank you guys so much for checking out this week's tattoo related video. I don't know what to call this anymore, but I really appreciate you guys checking them out. Please, 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 please subscribe to my channel if you like this video. It would mean a lot to me, and I'm really trying to get more content out here, and yeah, I really appreciate the love. So I'll see you guys next time.